Okay, we're going on hot girl walk. Um, so after thinking about it, I am actually going to pivot from the shadows because it's proven to be very annoying and also caused me to not get out videos. So I'm going to work on that on the back burner. But I want to continue to make progress. I actually got this book. It's like a 3D rendering cookbook. So I've been reading through that. So I'm going to try to implement some of the recipes from that book. And hopefully we'll have some interesting coding out soon. But for now, I'm gonna go try to find somewhere to do a fit check where people won't be looking at me. My biggest pet peeve is people who ride their bike on the sidewalk if they're older than like 5 years old. Like, why? Streets right there, there's bike lanes. We live in a bikeable city. God damn it. Damn, there's so many people out today. It's very lit out. But yeah, this is my fit. Got the Hello Kitty shirt, jorts, and Pit Vipes do-rag. You know what it is. Okay, here you can see me throwing some very bad punches. Again, I'm just warming up and then I whip on the cross. Boxing in public is actually quite embarrassing, but it's the only way to get better. Here I'm just working on a little footwork too. As you can see, I'm very bad at it, but you know, what is the channel about besides doing stuff you're bad at? That's all I do pretty much. And I love doing things I'm bad at. I tried throwing a little slip. Yeah. Yeah, watching this back is really helpful because I can see, like, later on in this workout, I like notice how bad my hooks were. Like, you're supposed to keep your elbow really high. Here I'm doing a little shadow boxing, and as you can see, like when I'm doing it in the mirror, my hook is my elbow is a lot higher on the hook. There's a lot more power if your elbow is high, due to body mechanics and whatnot. But yeah, that was. I don't even know why I put this in the video. It's fucking embarrassing, but you know what? I'm not embarrassed, actually. I'm losing all sense of shame by vlogging my life. Here, after I did like 8 rounds of boxing with active rest, so squats during the rest, and then after that I did a little shoulders. So a little overhead press. You can see from my face, I'm very tired. And then after this I did full ROM lateral raises. These hurt so much and they suck ass, but they're very good for the traps and the side delts. So I do them because I want to be hot and have Dwight Howard like shoulders. And then after that I did some dips. I'm procrastinating from packing the move, so I decided to go nutty mode in the gym. I didn't need to do all this. I'm so dead. This sucks. It was better than packing, because moving sucks. Oh man, almost tripped. I was kind of disappointed in myself because I couldn't figure out the shadows, but I think it's part of programming, part of life, part of everything. So decided I'm just gonna come back to it when I have less tunnel vision. I have other things to focus on right now anyway. Like dips. God damn. Oh man. Oh man. I love working out. I also did a very minimal amount of pull-ups. You can see I look very sad because I didn't want to do them. But you know what? We do things we don't want to do. I think I did like 3 sets of 4 because I've not been doing my pull-ups and they've been really hard. It's very early in the morning. You know what that means. We gotta be quiet. Just kidding. All right. Ashy knuckles in the camera. Today is 5K training day. But before that, I'm going to get a little bit of coding done because my last 2 videos have been, let's be honest, very lacking in coding and lacking in progress too. So what I'm working on right now is I'm doing a kind of aggressive refactoring. I mentioned before that I kind of wanted my openGL game engine to be more like C style rather than C++ style, meaning like not a lot of classes and stuff. But I couldn't figure out how to get that to work out. But I think I figured it out. So right now I've just been doing a little bit of refactoring. So far, what I have done is get rid of the shader class, and instead of having a class and having it return an instance, I'm just having it return an integer, because that's in OpenGL, that's what represents the shader program anyway. So we can just hold on to a reference of that and then change it and use it in other places. And when we have to use the shader, we just pass it in. Also, I redid my NeoVim. Before I was using LazyVim, which I liked, but there were some things that were bothering me, so I decided to do like a more custom config. Basically, I copied the one from Typecraft, but made it for C instead of what was he? He does Ruby. Okay, so we go into the implementation. I still actually have it. I have to update all these functions. So this constructor does not actually need to exist anymore. All the constructor was doing was creating the shader. It was grabbing the code from the shader files and compiling them, and then linking them to the program. So I just created 2 functions that do that. So I have create shader here, which calls compile shader. Compile shader finds the file, checks if it's open, takes this string, the content of it, and puts it into a string. And then I use openGL to compile that shader, check if it's successful. If it was, I just return the shader's ID. And then, so I do that for vertex and fragment shaders. And then I create the program. I attach each shader to the program, link it, check if linking was a success. If it was, I just return the program ID. And that's that GL uint, which is just a standard integer type from openGL. The reason I'm using that instead of an unsigned int is because on different platforms, unsigned int can be different sizes. So if we use a platform agnostic integer type, it'll always be, I believe, 32 bits, which is probably not something that will matter. If I'm being fully honest, but it's good to do best practices. Been reading a lot of books about openGL and C++, and learning some of the quirks, and yeah, I just feel smarter now. I don't know what my point was. Okay, so we have to pass in the actual program to each one of these because it is using an instance variable. So I believe this has to be a capital L. Okay, so then I have to remove const for all these. So I'm just gonna go ahead and yank that, paste it, oops, comma, yank the whole thing with the comma, and then I'm gonna go ahead and paste that at the beginning of each one of these functions. So far, it's pretty much gonna be the same thing, except instead of having an instance, we're gonna have this is gonna be a func. Funky. I don't know what I'm saying. Trying to come up with a pun there. It just didn't pan out. Anyway, I hate how comfortable I've become just talking to myself. It's very weird. Not normal. All right, let's delete those const. I guess those would be declarations. Because those are only valid in the case of a class or struct. And we ain't doing that no more. You're probably wondering, why do I want to write this in a C style and avoid classes? I believe that it'll just be simpler. I don't 100% understand like the advantage of using classes when it comes to C++. I understand the advantage of using classes for something like Swift or Java or something, because it's very class oriented. C++ was meant to be, but it just, everyone I've seen online tends to just say don't use a class unless you actually have to, and I don't have to. The only reason I was using one before is because I was copying the code from learnopengl.com, and that was very class heavy, but we don't need it, brother. You ain't gonna need it. Let's see. Any errors? Yes. Okay. So I have to pass in program to these. Yank. I like that in NeoVim copy is called yank. I think it's you copy with Y, so I assume that stands for yank. It's like the opposite of me. I ain't no yank. Country boy. Just kidding. I am a yank, I guess. Okay. This should at least compile. I mean, not the program. This file should compile. The program will not compile because I am now. Yeah, everywhere that I'm calling this shader is not gonna work anymore. So, but the good news is I actually shouldn't need to pass these into the game scene anymore. I don't think. Let me put up a second terminal window. Okay, so check. Yeah, so game scene. We can remove all this junk. Everywhere I pass in the shader. See, this is why it's simpler. Now I don't have to pass in the shader anywhere. Which is kind of awesome. I think I don't. Do I need to pass in the ground still? Probably not. Okay, so let's delete all that. And let's go to the implementation. Alright, so we're gonna say skybox shader and depth shader. These three. So we got our three shaders as GL UNs, and then where we create the scene, we can init those. Okay, so shader equals create shader. I think that's what I called it. Yes, I did. Okay. And then we just need the vertex path. There's a few issues with my NeoVim config. It doesn't like auto like when it auto completes a thing, and then you can like tab over to delete the the placeholders. That's not working. So I think I'm just gonna have to F around with that. But you know me, I love to F around. Okay, so shader drag. Boom, yeah. Okay, wait. We gotta do this guy. Delete all that. All it. And so here, I use shader. Boom. set int. Set int. And then we just pass in shader. Boom. Look at this. This is dare I say it's better than what I had before. You know what? I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna fucking say it, bro. I'm gonna fucking say it, dog. Give a fuck. Okay. Extremely silly. This should be the depth shader, though. I think. Wait, let me go back. No, that. Wait a minute. Is that why this wasn't working? I think. Yeah, this should be the depth shader. That could be why the shadows weren't working, to be quite honest. It would be pretty funny if, because I did this, that I fixed the shadows, but I'm not 100% sure that's why. But I think that might be an issue if I'm passing the shadow map into the wrong goddamn shader. That would explain a little bit. Okay, so I do need to initialize the depth shader and skybox shader. Okay, skybox shader equals create shader. If I did like a convention with my with like how I'm naming things, I could just pass in I could just pass in the name of the shader rather than passing in the whole path. So I might actually do that later, not right now. I'm gonna try to get this actually building again though first, because that would be ideal. Okay, so if I'm not passing I don't need shader .h either. Okay, so let's close this. Oh my! All right, can you quit? Okay, close that. Why is this? Oh, quotes. Okay, and then depth shader. Resources / shadow frag. Okay, so we just need to delete all this. Models. Okay, I need to figure out what I want to do with the ground. Like, So I think I need to figure that out because. Okay, so actually, I'm gonna refactor that too. So it's not a class. So I don't have to actually worry about that right now. Okay, cool. This is looking pretty good. Okay, so I need to change all this. Take in a shader. This is gonna take a long time. I'll be honest with you. Well, I'm actually being honest with myself. Because y'all don't have to watch all this. But I have to do all of this, which sucks. But it's part of the game, brother. Part of the game. It's what we do. Bruv. I don't know what the fuck that accent was. Alright, this is sick. This is sack. I'm actually quite excited for this refactor, honestly. I will need to take a break to go run, but I'm liking what's going on right now. Okay. My watch is charged. Okay. I'm gonna keep working on this until I finish my Celsius. And then I gotta go run. Okay. Okay, so. Also, in my new NeoVim config, it is not like, it'll tell me where an error is, but it won't tell me what the error is, which is honestly not helpful. Usually I can figure it out, but I shouldn't have to figure it out. You know what I mean? No, I'm slaying, brother. Okay, let's see. Yeah, this, all this. I think I'm just gonna say draw around. Let's actually call this a plane. Draw a plane. Shaders passing. So I need that passing. Or this. Or maybe it does. Alright, actually we do. We do want to pass in a shader here. Reason being, we need to draw the models with different shaders. So here we're passing regular shader, and then here we're passing depth shader. Okay. Look at you doing. This is looking pretty good. Still obvi. Got some errors, but these are very fixable. Very easy to fix, I would say. When I was a kid, my best friend Ashwin was like a big troll, and one day our teacher kept telling us when we were doing our timetables to not say when stuff is easy, because it would make the people who didn't know the timetables feel bad. So Ashwin finished his times tables, and instead of saying easy, he was like, simple. It's like, damn, well played, Ashwin. You outsmarted that dumbass teacher. Okay, let us see. So I need to close this guy. And then I need to go to plane. So this one. Alright, again, we are deleting audition. All this actually needs to be copied over. Okay. Let's open up a second terminal window. Oh, you didn't know I had the floating Neo tree? I guess you may have missed that. Okay. Let's see. What the fuck am I? Oh yeah, playing that. CPP. Okay. Actually, so I want to quit out of this one. And then just do this. That way I don't have the thing on the side. Okay, so boom. Okay. So I need a create method. So let's do that. And then we need the paths. Shoot. Okay, so I don't actually need any of this stuff out here. Sometimes copy and paste is doesn't seem to work like regular copy and paste for between like buffers. I don't know. So I gotta figure that out when it comes to my doggone NeoVim. It's new. It's very new config. Okay, so we got that copied over there. So I'm so I can go and delete all these. Delete all these. Peace. Get the fuck out of here, bro. I don't need so to include GLU and say glad. Get some glad. Forgot the pound. Okay. Okay, so we need to close that. Change those to GLU ants and this as well. Okay. This guy. Almost done with my Celsi boy. So I'm gonna have to go run. And also it's almost 7 a.m. and I need to work at 8 a.m. so I gotta put this John on hold. Just quite check quickly. This. Actually, do have some share. There's no GLU. Is being used up here, so we gotta say. Everywhere this is happening. Y'all know this. Okay. No errors. I believe. I'm not convinced that this is actually done though. Wait, what? Okay. I believe I'm in a good spot though. Also, I want to remove all the C outs from my code. Replace them with print lines since I'm on C++ 23. But that's for another time. All right, I will be back to work on this a little bit later, but I got to go run. Okay, we're just warming up now for my run. Today, the intervals are 5 minutes, and the rest is only 1 minute, which is probably gonna be the most difficult run I've done thus far, but you know, we gotta ramp it up. Halfway done. It's tough, but it's not as tough as I thought it would be. Feel like it's gonna be done before I know it. Okay, I'm done. And cool down right now. I'm very tired. There's a big ass bird across the street. What the fuck? What the fuck is that? Got distracted. I thought that was like a hawk or something. But yeah, alright. I'm done. It was tough, but doable. Next run is 2 longer intervals, 1 kilometer each. So that's gonna be probably about twice as long as 5 minute intervals because my slow pace right now is 10 minutes per kilometer. Fast is like just under 9, so we'll see. Okay, so I'm back on the shadows. I couldn't stay away. So, I did a buttload of refactoring. Basically just like got rid of all the unnecessary classes. I still have a couple structs, but instead of having instance methods, I'm just like passing them into functions. Yeah, more C style. And I kind of like where it is right now. And at the moment, I am trying to add some like visual debugging so I can figure out what the heck is going on with the shadows. We'll see. Okay, look at how smooth this footage is. Oh my god. I'm using my phone gimbal, which I never use. It's so smooth. It looks like I'm flying a drone. Because normally I walk like fucking Frankenstein, so all my like B-roll shots are super shaky. But no longer. It's a new day. Okay, probably look ridiculous. I have a gimbal and a weighted vest, but okay, whatever. So yeah, I'm going for extended weighted vest walk. Since I'm moving, so I'm a little busy going to the dentist test, so I'm trying to condense things. So I'm gonna combine my hot girl walk with my workout for today. And after that, I'm going to try to tackle the shadows. What we do in the shadows. Is that a movie? A song? I don't know. Whatever. I don't watch movies. I'm so sorry about the audio in that last clip. I don't know what was going on there. Yeah, just more vest walk. Walking around the park. This is my normal route, to be honest. So you've probably seen this shot a million times, but have you seen it look this smooth? Also, if you're wondering about who caused the matcha shortage, it's me, bitch. Just kidding. I don't drink matcha that much, even though there's 2 clips in this video of me holding a matcha. Or yeah, this is more park shots. So beautiful. But yeah, after this, we're just gonna get back into some more coding. I am so excited I got the shadows to work. It was a long nightmare, but we did it. Sometimes you just gotta be just very stubborn. That's the word I'm looking for. I'm stubborn. I don't give up on things, even when I feel like I should. Any of y'all need clothes and hose? I did it. I did it. Shadows are working. I do have a few things that I have to, like a few like little bugs that I already know how to fix because I read how to fix them literally twice. So I'm just gonna go ahead and show that as I'm fixing those bugs. But first and foremost, let's look at them in all their glory. Oh my God. Our long national nightmare is over. Whoa, wait. Oh God. Look at that. We got a shadow. I hope that's coming across in the video. In OBS, it doesn't look great, but if we look, zoom in, look at that, shadows. Yeah. So, as you can probably see, there's like some weird light artifacts. So that's just what I'm going to fix right now in this little portion. But it is this stuff's pretty simple to fix. So let's open NeoVim. So the first thing is the lines. That's called shadow acne. It's basically because the resolution of the shadow map is not super high, so it will it'll kind of oscillate between like dark and light in spots where there's not enough resolution to render the shadows correctly. Notice I also have point lights commented out because I don't want to deal with that right now. So we only have the one directional light. Basically, to get rid of the shadow acne, you have to provide a bias value. So basically, if the distance between the two sampled points for the shadow are larger than a certain amount, then we use the shadow value. So if we do that, and then also we use the max equation basically to wait, we use the max equation and the dot equation to basically create that bias value. I'm doing it in the wrong place. Okay, so we want to oscillate between the bias between 0.5 and 0.05, depending on the angle at which the light is hitting. We could just choose a value, but that won't work at every angle. So this is why we're doing it like this. So I'm gonna say float bias. It's gonna be the max of 0.05 times 1 minus the dot product of the the normal. Wait a minute. Is the normal not available? Okay, we got to pass in the normal. So, and the light direction. So, do we have a light direction? We have the view direction, but not the light direction. Or is the light direction just the? Oh, wait, light direction is just the direction of the direction of the light, whatever. Okay, so all right. So pass in the normal, which is a vec3 normal, and then the light direction will also be a vec3 light. Okay, so we want to say normal with the light. And then we find the max value between that and 0.5. I mean 0.05. And then and then we'll do current depth minus bias. Is that okay? So and then we have to pass in the norm and the directional light. Dot direction. Okay. So save that. Run. Okay, I have an error because I misspelled light. Error. Okay. Sources. Shader. Frag. Okay. We cannot spell. Yeah. Okay. Boom, yeah, we got a very blocky shadow here. Awesome. Okay, so next issue is okay, so if we take a look, if I run it again, and you take a look at the scene, so let's back up quite a bit. See how this stuff outside of basically everything outside of the shadow map frustrum is going to be in shadow, so we have to oversample that to make sure that it is there. And also I noticed that we're getting repeat shadows over there. Oh yeah, I think it's because of the plane I'm repeating values. Hopefully this oversampling fixes that, but if it doesn't, then I'm gonna have to, I don't know. Okay, anyway, so to fix the oversampling, let's open NeoVim, go to the game scene. So I have to change where I'm creating the shadow map. So leave that setup dev map. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, where we're repeating the texture wrap, we actually want to clamp to the border. So clamp to border and do that. Both the S and T direction. Okay, and then we want to set create a border color. So, oops, I lost myself. I lost myself. Okay, here I am. Okay, yeah, the clamp to borders. We're gonna say float border color, which will just be an array of 4 values, all 1.0. So it's gonna be white. Okay, so we have this. I typoed. Okay, and then we will create a text parameter IGL texture 2D GL texture border color, and then we'll pass in that border color. Sick. It's supposed to be FV, not I. FV stands for float value, I stands for integer. Okay, yeah. Okay, after we do that, we just have to go into the shader and update that. So we'll save this, go into the shader, and inside where I believe where we're calculating the shadow, we have to basically set this shadow to 0 if the z coordinates are greater than 1. So do that right after this. So if z is greater than 1.0, we're just gonna say shadow equals 0.0. Okay, I believe that's all we have to do. Also, I walked 3.11 miles today. So I'm literally exactly a 5K. I'm very proud of myself. And it's not running a 5K, obviously, but like that's what we're training for. We can walk a 5K, we can run it. What's the difference? Same thing. Okay, that did fix both issues, so awesome. Okay, next issue is those blocky those blocky shadows. So to do that, to fix that, we have to basically just like do what's called percentage close filtering, which basically it just like checks if it's close to the edge and then kind of blurs it, I believe. So to do that, there was another issue called Peter panning where the shadows look detached from the object. I'm not 100% sure that's an issue for me right now, so I'm actually going to skip over that because the shadows look fine to me. Okay, so but I think it's called Peter panning because the objects look like they're floating, but I can't tell that because my objects literally are floating. So, but maybe when I figure out how to get the objects that sit on the ground and look real, then I can handle the Peter Panning issue. But until then, we don't care. Okay. Okay, so to do this, not sure which shader we have to change. Okay, so texture size returns I swear I did read this before I started filming. I promise. I promise you this. Okay. Okay, so do we do this in... Okay, we have to do it in the same shader. So let's see. Shader.frag. So it'll be in this what's it called? In the fragment shader. What am I talking about? In calculate shadow. And it'll be in calculate shadow. So what I'm going to do instead. Alright, we're gonna say, actually let's comment on all this stuff. Okay, so say shadow equals 0. Oops. Shadow equals 0. And then we're going to create a vec2, which represents the size of a texel. So a texel is basically like a pixel, but for textures. Similar to how like a voxel is like a pixel, but for volume. So, okay, so texture. Okay, so I guess this is a built-in function called texture size. So texel size will be 1 divided by the the size of the entire texture. So we're just gonna loop over this texture, I guess. So from -1 to 1. Gonna do another loop into y. So the reason we're going from -1 to 1 is because those are the normalized device coordinates. They go from -1 to 1. I don't know what you want. What more you want me to say? Like, it's just how it is. Dog. Okay. It's very. I'm so stupid. Okay. All right. So what we're gonna do is say float. So PCF depth is the I guess the depth from okay, so PCF depth is the depth of shadow map with the filtering on there. So we're gonna sample the shadow map. And then we're gonna add a vector with X and Y in it. Okay. Maddie, why won't you explain what's going on here? Because I don't understand it fully yet, I'll be honest. Okay. Sometimes with, all kinds of programming, but especially graphics programming, sometimes you're just like following algorithms and you're like, I hope this works because I don't really 100% know what's going on here. Bias. Let's create a PCF depth. So this is like a very simple algorithm for this. There are more complex ones that I would probably understand even less, if we're being honest. So the last thing we gotta do is divide the shadow by 9. Why 9? Why not 9? All right. Okay. If there's no typos, hopefully that'll work. This should give us fuzzy shadows instead of blocky ones. Hey, it worked. Shit. Okay. But damn, the other thing is back. Okay, let's see. Why is that happening? Okay. Oh, I know why. Because I forgot to put the if shadow is greater than whatever. Actually, let me delete this. This is for debugging. But if shadow is if actually, let me look at the complete implementation. So, just to make sure I get this right. Okay, yeah, okay. I had it right. So we just gotta say proj chords. Z grade 1. Then shadow. 0. Okay, it's the same as before. All right, run it. Oh my god, look at that. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. Oh my god. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Okay, good. I'm pretty happy with that. Only one more thing I wanted to show is so to get this working, I was like, so before when I couldn't get it to work, it was a number of issues, but I was like literally too lazy to just like set up like a debug, like a visual debugging quad. So I finally broke down and added that in to make it a little bit easier to tell. So if I run it with the debug the debug quad rendering, it'll just like show the depth map from the perspective of the light. So that's how we calculate the shadows. This is the texture that is actually rendered when we do the shadow render pass. But yeah, that's about it. I need to pack up my entire apartment. Okay, so I don't know when this video is gonna be out, but hopefully soon. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I am Maddie. Please like and subscribe. Wait, let's go full screen for the outro. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you for going through this ordeal of rendering shadows with me. That was probably more difficult than it needed to be, but you know, I'm not smart or good at game dev, but I'm practicing, and I think I'm getting better, starting to understand things a little bit better. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I'm Maddie. Like to subscribe.